Hello everyone, it's April 8th, 21. My name is Mike and I want to show you some interesting stuff here on the charts. We're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, DJI, on the monthly. There is one very important line that no one is really talking about, that I believe is the most important line that we should be looking at for the stock market and the economy as a whole. Everyone's talking about this trend line that spans the peaks here, running from 1929 to around 2000 till now. But there's another line that we should really be looking at and actually tells you a lot about the direction we might be headed to. So let me go ahead and put this in. All right. And this is the line, basically just running right through the middle. Now, for a lot of you that don't know about technical analysis or looking at charts, the more times that you get touches, the more touches you get along this trend line, the better it is, and the more significant this line is. Let me get a better fit. Oh, see, this is beautiful right here. All right, I want everyone to go ahead and plot this on your charts and just keep an eye on it. It's very important because this tells you a lot about the direction. So look here, running from all the way in 1896, we're just riding up along this trend line here, right? We barely dipped down there, but then we sprung back, found support, and boom, big bubble here. And this was the crash, the Great Depression of 1930. And look at what happens. We broke below this line and found support right here. Great. So for the next, let's say for the next 40 years or so, we found pretty much resistance at this line right here. You know, we got rejected and then we made our way back up till about the mid 1960s. You know, we made a few touches here and then kind of went stagnant. You know, it's the 1970s stagflation, right? We went sideways for almost 15 years or so. And when we broke the resistance line right up here, we just went right up, touched it, broke it in 1996. We went right back above it, but obviously, like most significant levels, you can't just shoot straight up and never come back and touch this without retesting. So here we go. This is the dot-com bubble, right? 2000. We came right back down. We found support in 03. Then we got a bounce all the way up till 2008. We all know what happened there. And this is why a lot of people, I think, panicked back in 2008 because we actually dropped below this line. And boy, this is really dangerous. And I'll show you why with some more support levels here. We actually made it back, or initially got rejected. We broke above it, broke down, and it was confirmed, really. But again, we can't keep going up forever without retouching this. You know, all throughout history, whenever we go up, we touch this line. Whenever we break below it, we go back up to touch it. That's just how these lines work. So back over here. Look at what happened, guys. Like, you could have had this line plotted all the way back in 03, and look what happened in 2020 here. It was perfect support, perfect. We came back down here and touched it in 16. There were a lot of recession fears going on around this time. If you guys remember, Donald Trump won and we just skyrocketed, went all the way back up. But always, guys, remember, we can't keep going up forever without retesting this trend line. So 2020, we crashed, we found support, and right back up we went. Now, how long are we going to keep going along here till we come back and retest this line or break below it? Well, let's find some things in the chart here, and let's just look at some quick resistance, and then we'll do some support. Everyone knows about this resistance trend line right here. Everyone's talking about it now. Right there, look at that. This line right here. And you know what? Let me just change this to let's do a dotted line. Okay, this is a very important line. Let's just keep it dotted. resistance there. Resistance there from the 1929 Great Depression crash. Man, this just looks so beautiful, doesn't it? And look here now. We are literally at critical levels right now, guys. Like, here, let me make this a little better fit there. Like, we're right at it. And actually, if we really look closely, we're breaking just right above it. But, man, is this going to hold? I mean, we'll see. I personally think maybe we might break above and just start writing up above this line before we come back down. But no matter what, I really, really do believe we're going to come back down and test this line at some point in the near future. So, we'll see what happens here. We'll look at some indicators later, and you'll see that we're actually sort of starting to lose some momentum coming up here. All right, so let's go ahead and plot the support trend line here. So we'll do one touch there from the Great Depression low. We'll get another touch here. All right, so we have some 2 good points right there. Okay, we have something else going on right up here, right? And this is actually the one that has me a little bit more worried, because if we then connect this here, it's starting to look a little bit kind of like a wedge-ish. That's a little bit debatable, but I mean, it doesn't really look that good. Let's make this wedge fit here. Look at that. I think this is a pretty valid wedge. Now, obviously, wedges aren't very, they're not very consistent. Typically a rising wedge will break down, but since they do break up also. And when they do break up, oftentimes when they break up, it signals a blow off top. So it's very possible, if this really is a wedge, we can just maybe blast past this, get a blow off top, and come all the way back down here to test this line. Now, if this really is a wedge, and it really is going to break down, then I believe the support is going to be this trend line right here. And boy, if we break this significant support here, let's just look at how much of a drop that is from where we are now. Yeah, we're looking at about 76, 77%. That's pretty big, guys. Like, we will be in a depression for several years if that does happen. So look, I'm not making any predictions. I'm just showing you what's on the chart. This line is super, super important, and we just, don't keep your eyes off of this line, because we are going to come back and test this at some point in the future. I can't tell you when, but it is coming. Let's plot out some cycles now. Let's plot out some cycles just to see what might be happening here. Obviously, you got to just play around with this a little bit. It's never going to be exactly perfect, but if you kind of try to get the tops to the bottoms, and this top kind of went past, and that does happen, you'll see that very frequently, but then we come back down right at this line, and look at this comes right back down right about there. We get some, so it's obviously not going to be a perfect fit. Let's see there. Yeah, let's just go with about that, and then we have the drop there. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's look at the past here. This is a bull run. This happens on the bull runs with these cycles. That's why you can't really go with what this is saying. But look, we got some bottoms here. Someone got the bottom there. It's the general vicinity. You just gotta look at it here. Great. So we have the top to a lowish right around here. And then we got another low. Look at where it goes from red to green, right? Let's see how we can get this. That kind of nailed the top. So it's not perfect, right? But then that got the bottom. That got around the bottom there. That got around to the red. You see, it's not exactly perfect, but it kind of does give you like a projection of the direction we might be heading. See, look at this. Then we kind of went up and then down and then up and then down. It's kind of neat how this works, really. Up, down, down to about 2016. Up, and then starting to head down, right? And this is all fractal, so you can definitely fill this even smaller to get even, like, let's say we want to go to the weekly. You can even come in here and do weekly cycles. All right, I plotted this on the weekly. Now let's see how this works. You can get cycles within cycles, right? So like, let's look here. Well, let's just start from the .com bubble here. Let's start from the .com bubble here. So going up, down, down. You kind of see how that kind of goes with that. Then back up we go. It's telling you the trend is somewhat over. Again, it's not exact, but you see where it's going. And then right here, if we zoom in, we had a little bump, right? And then it, for the most part, got the bottom here in 08, 09. Then we go back up. Boom. You guys see that? Here we go. Bottom there in 2015. Okay. Not exact, right? But it kind of does give you an idea of the waves. And then here we got to the bottom. So what's this telling you? This move is coming to an end almost. We're getting close to heading back down to complete the cycle. But we still have this bigger cycle in here, correct? So we're going to get the even bigger drops corresponding to this big cycle here. Just like we got this, not always though. If we really are in a bull market, this can keep on going, and then it'll take little teeny tiny dips. So let's look at here. Let's play around with this a little bit, and just for fun, let's just do a little prediction. This big one is still giving you a big cycle, so it's really saying, let's say we are going to get a crash. It probably won't happen until about 2024, right? So let's say it comes down, it goes back up, comes down a little bit, goes back up, right? So maybe for like the next few years, we'll just ride up along this trend line, we'll go down and then back up, down and then back up, right? Down and then back up. And then maybe right around here, we might start going down, get a little bounce, down, it can just keep going. Or, I'm just playing around with this. All I wanted to show you is this move here might be down. People are going to panic. Who knows what's going to happen, guys? The Fed just keeps printing and printing. This can basically just keep going up and up. But, it's not going to go up forever. All right, now let's kind of do a similar thing with the SPX. I already had some cycles here plotted on the SPX. Okay, let's go back to the monthly here. Let's kind of do the same thing. This is why I kind of don't think this line, the line on the DJI, is all that significant, because let's look at this one, right? If we really are going based off of this line, and then what this is telling you is, what this is telling you is that the S&P 500 has quite a while to go, right? It can, yeah, so this is telling you this can just keep on going up for quite a while. Let's say maybe we touch up here around 58, right? 5,800 before we come back down. So let's just say hypothetically the S&P does have some more room to go up and touch this line. Then obviously if we look at the Dow Jones, we're going to pretty much break up above this line and maybe just right up above it. But again, the most important line here we got to look at is the trend line that touches the most points. Yeah, let's say that's a bottom right there. There we go. Oh, you know what? This is pretty neat right here, guys. Oh, and we even touched. Okay, let's make this a dotted line. Oh, guys. Yeah, honestly, this line, It's respected on the DJI. It's going to be respected on the SPX. Beautiful. And then I actually already had this plotted out. Same deal as the DJI, right? Boom, boom. Right there. Right there. I don't think we're going to crash just yet. I don't think we're going down just yet. We might have some more room to go up. I do believe this year we will probably most likely end at green, and most of pretty much next year will be green too. Past 2022, start really paying attention. Maybe by then we will come up to this line and touch it. But again, same thing as I told you guys about DJI, right? This line, at some point in the future, we're going to come back down to touch it. So let's say it goes back up here. We touch that. And then we come back down to test this line before we bounce back up. Let's see, folks. Oh, gosh. Even that would be a really nasty sell-off. Plot this support trend line down here. Let's get that to fit. Oh gosh, guys, this is even looking like a really nasty wedge-ish. I mean, eventually they're gonna come intersect. Let's say 100 years later, we repeat what happened in 1929 here in 2029, right? Well, here this line was respected, so who knows? But let's just say we come back down here, and then just to break it, let's say we just come back up here, 2029. We're at almost 99,000 SPX. You know what? That's kind of a nice number, 9,000. And then just to come drop all the way back down. Let's just for fun do a little Fibonacci line here to about, let's say, 9,000. Yeah, see, and that even lines up with that. That's kind of neat, huh? Okay, look at that. Look at that. You know what? Let's say in 28, 29, we start having a crash. There's that line right here at right about the 50%. Man, that could be really interesting, guys, right? And then just bounce back up, and we just keep on going back up and just keep riding up this thing. But hey, you know what? At some point, these lines, we're going to break one of these trend lines at some point because, it's just contracting. But who knows? I mean, I'll be dead by then. So let's take a look at this NASDAQ composite. There's obviously not enough history here to actually get some stuff plotted out like we did with the DJI and SPX. But, just really simple off the bat. Back in 1974, we did have this line that came along. And you know what? This actually kind of looks like a nice channel. And I'm sure a lot of you guys looking at me watching me probably have this plotted already. Oh, yeah. Such a nice channel here, guys. Look at that. I mean, it's not perfect, but let's just say here we blew past it, and it was a failed breakout, and we just had a blow off top and came right back down. So let's just say that. And then this is the actual line we should be paying attention to right here. That touch right back here. You know what? From this, guys, this is just looking so bullish to me. Like, we're back above this line. We're back above here. Like, we're in good shape. Yeah, okay, we might get a sell-off, and we might come down to test this again, because you technically should, whenever you break it, like you see here, we broke it, we went up, and then we came back down to retest it, went up, and then we came back down to retest it again. So it's not out of the possibility that, it's like very, very possible we just stop right here. We're already at the top of the Bollinger Band. We did lose some momentum right up here, so it's entirely possible we can just have a correction for a couple months, come back down, touch this before we head right back up. And ultimately, I would be looking at this up here as my target at some point in the future. Let's say like history repeats itself and in 2029 we get a big crash. Let's just hypothetically say that. Yeah, we're looking at about oh gosh, look at that. $50,000 NASDAQ composite. Like, that's perfect. That is such really this is really strong psychological resistance right here. Where do we go here? 5,000. Look at that. 5,000 and log. Let's say 5,000 to 50,000, right? 5,000 to 50. Gosh, what am I doing? 5,000 to 50,000 log. This is beautiful, guys. No one knows where this thing is going, but you know, all we can do is just look at these charts and just see what it tells us. You know what I will do though? Looking at this here, if we come back down here and we break this back down and this green GAN line turns red and we get a cross here of the 21 EMA crossing the 20 MA down, oh yeah, I'm definitely selling, because I would have no doubt we would probably come down here and retest this. Like, look, we actually never even retested this down here. Like, we just blew past it. No touches. So, you know what? I'm actually looking at this as a very significant level here. If we fall below this line, look for support over here. Like, this is really good support. So just keep this plotted on your charts, guys. Make sure you look at these trend lines. Always go to the monthly. Let me just put this here just so I can keep it on my chart. Yeah. That's the support, guys. That's the target support if we do break below this. I don't think we will. I don't think we will break under this. If we do break below this, yeah, we're headed to another really nasty recession. But I don't think so. I think we just lose some momentum here, come back down, test this line till we head back up. All right, guys. So let's just briefly look at some indicators real quick. You can already see one down here. This is called the Fisher transform. I actually like this a little bit better than the stochastics. I find it to be actually pretty accurate for the most part. But I kind of want to insert the MACD in here. I actually do really like the MACD a lot also, just for the momentum and the histogram. So yeah, look at this, guys. I mean, this is saying there's still more upside on the monthly. Let's look at it on the weekly. Oh gosh, I hate those cycles getting in the way. Now on the weekly is the thing. Like, we're looking a little bit overextended on the weekly. Maybe forming some more bearish divergence. Yeah, it looks like we could. We'll see if next week we start trending higher, then you know what, this probably will be invalidated. But right now it's looking a little bit like bearish divergence, and a very big signal I like to look at is right here, this trend line here. Again, the red line is the 20 MA from the Bollinger Band, and oh gosh, and this blue line is the 21 EMA, and I really like to watch these crosses. When the red line goes above the blue line, it kind of signals, let's push on the brakes a little bit. We might be losing some momentum. Obviously, it's never perfect. No indicator is ever perfect. But if this blue line crosses above the red line, oh boy, that means we're bullish. Just buy. We're going up. You see, kind of like over here, it didn't work exactly. This was a false breakout right here on the weekly. Great. So yeah, that's what you want to look at when the red and the blue cross, and then this, and then the green GAN line turns to red. That's what you want to see. So I don't know. To me, right here, it's looking like we might be losing some momentum. And again, here, the red above the blue. Oh wow. And look at that. We're probably going to start curving back down right here. So we have bearish divergence right there, right there, and that's going up, right? So it looks like for the short term, we're losing some momentum, and maybe next week we're going to start heading back down here. Let's look at the SPX real quick. See if the SPX is also agreeing with that. Boy, let me delete these cycles now. We don't need them anymore. Yeah, see, the SPX showed a higher high, higher momentum, but we're getting to the point where this is going to start turning back around. And I'm not saying we're going to break down or anything. This is still green. This is still hold. I will not sell here at all, right? I'm just going to keep letting this ride. Just keep letting it ride. It's a bullish trend. Just keep going with the trend. Let's look at the QQQ. Yeah, I mean, this is looking pretty good. We do have some gaps. I have seen some other gaps on the other charts. We might come down and fill these. But boy, what we really, really don't want to see is a lower high here for the QQQ. Yeah, so looking at the NASDAQ composite, boy, it looks like we're losing some momentum here also. See, this doesn't look so great compared to the QQQ. Let's see here. Let's just connect the closes instead. Yeah, this is what we really don't want, guys. We don't want to lose momentum here, make a lower high to come back down, because this is kind of looking a little bit like a bear flag. But obviously nothing's confirmed until we actually break below it. Yeah, see, but then here we didn't. There's no bear flag there. We went right above it. So different things to look at the charts. We might get a short-term correction here in the near future. I don't think anything too big, but boy, if we start really, really dumping, then again, important. Start watching these very significant lines here, right here. And like I said, we might be heading down because look at even the cycle here. Anyway, watch these lines here and watch this line here on the SPX. Okay? That's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy looking at the charts like all you other guys. So take it easy. Till the next time. Bye-bye.